Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the Foundry. I am JB here with the spooky specialist himself, Kylo, joining me for another Foundry Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about Smile. Kylo, just to start off the episode of Foundry Reviews, what'd you think of it, yay or nay?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of a yay. Like the whole movie kind of panned out the way I thought it was going to be, especially towards the end. There was like a couple of curveballs, but yeah, definitely a yay for me.
How
about you?
I think yay as well. Like there are lots of parts of a lot of parts of this movie I really liked, but also a lot of parts of these movies that and nothing that I didn't dislike. I didn't like or I disliked. I was just like, that wasn't great. I'd say
It was
like
just goofy.
yeah, it was like a lot of stuff you thought would be like funny or comical, but like they kind of didn't have it on purpose. Like there were a lot of funny parts of the movies, but it was unintentionally funny, which is like the best part.
Yeah, I can think of a couple of fucked up moments, maybe with a dead cat.
Yeah, the birthday party, like, you talk about it immediately. The birthday party was, like, the funniest fucking scene. Like, it was really funny. And, I mean, like, there was a lot of stuff going on, like, with, like, whatever the curse was, and, like, I guess, I wouldn't necessarily call them plot holes, but a lot of questions being asked, like, why did certain things happen? You know, if this curse is inside of her head, like, then why are these certain things happening as if it's there specifically for the audience? Like, great, like, they need to do stuff for the audience and to spook us and scare us and stuff, but, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense of, like, why this thing needs to happen if they're, like, it's the only reason it's happening is because there's a camera rolling, you know? That's not very, like, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, at the end of the movie, like, how the creature kind of crawled inside of her mouth. Like, that was really creepy and fucking looked amazing. Like, it was spooky as fuck. But why did it need to crawl inside of her mouth to get inside of her when, like, the curse was already inside of her head?
I hear you, but how would you possess a person? Would you go in, like, the back doorway, or would you go in, like, the cleanest, like,
I mean, like, she already had it. Like, she already had the curse, though. Like, why did it need to go inside of her when it was already inside of her head?
Well, to, like, actually possess her, at least I thought. Like, so she would actually kill herself, you know? Like, she could see the curse, but, like, she...
Yeah, but I thought, like, for a while, like, for a fat minute, the only reason why, like, they waited so long is because they're waiting for a witness to spread it. Like, for a fat minute, or, like, a couple days, at least, they were waiting, like, to fully do it. I don't know, there was just, like, a lot of just random shit that happened that I felt like her, like, going through it was, like, at some points a little bit too much, like, extra. Like, I get it, you're super nervous and you're biting your nails and she's wearing really big baggy clothing and shit, and goddamn, like, the main character, definitely, she was going through it. Like, they went into really good detail without her, like, wearing any makeup and just totally not looking, like, put together at all, which I thought they did a really good job with that. There was
like the slow decline of her. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they did a really good job with a lot of the body horror and, like, some of the gore within this movie too. I was a really big fan. And I'd say my favorite part of this entire movie that I thought they did exceptionally well. I think the cinematography was great, and I also think the sound design and the music was really good too. This movie is full of fucking jump scares, like a huge amount of jump scares, like an extreme amount. And I think this movie, like, played off of just pre-existing, like, horror kind of cliches quite a bit too, like things that remind you of a certain other thing and that were conditioned by other movies to be scared of, which I kind of hate. I think that's kind of lazy. But like, this movie did a really good job of it too, though, because I felt like they were working in its favor but also working against it. Like, there was a scene, like, towards the very beginning, how it's dark, it's quiet, she's shutting the refrigerator very slowly, and you just kind of expect something to be behind it, and they don't try to scare you or anything like that, but they kind of mislead you in certain ways too, you know. But the entire movie, I was super fucking tense too. I was very tense, and I was very anxious. Like, this movie made me super fucking anxious, and I almost was just waiting for it to be over, just how anxious it made me, because it was just full of jump scares, man. I'd say almost too many, but it was just full of it.
Well, I would keep getting anxious, and then, like, some goofy parts would, like, break it up for me, like that knife stabbing scene. Like, I understand that was, like, all that stuff, but I don't know, just that whole bit of, like, her stabbing that dude and the dude laughing and the doctor just ripping off his face was just, I don't know, really goofy in my opinion. I can understand it kind of like builds like a horror dynamic for her at least, but yeah.
Yeah. I thought the part where it plays as her therapist and says, "We're coming for
The
you."
fucking voice. Oh my god, the
That
fucking
was
voice.
so fucking funny. Why did they need to put on a spooky voice? It was fucking horrible.
Time, Susan.
It was so bad. It reminded me of Brad Vickers from fucking Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so fucking bad.
It was really bad. Why did they do that, man? Why?
I don't know. I feel like the a silent sort of horror, like at least like from the main antagonist, would have been nice. Like
Yeah,
it was
if
already
it
ominous enough,
slowly
like,
just
with the
walked
creepy
towards
smile.
her, if it slowly just walked toward her, didn't say anything, that would have been fucking perfect. You know, that would have been amazing. Yeah, I thought.
But
that
I don't know. It's like those goofy moments that kind of like make it less scary. It's like a little buffer in between. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. But most of the horror throughout it, like the just ominous horror, like whenever, like you said, she opened the fridge and like got her drink or whatever, and just across the bar, she sees that lady smiling at her, just standing there.
Yeah, that scared the fuck out of me too.
That
Like-
and the I'm pretty sure it was the same scene. Like she drops the wine or whatever, and then like the phone call happens, and like she's actually talking to the demon the first time or whatever, and then like the second time it's like the real people.
Yeah, that's so fucking scary. Very scary. Those parts were really fucking good. I like that a lot. This like talking about it's not that bad, but it's just like what I mean, the whole fucking movie is just It Follows. That's all it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like it's just kind of a bad version of It Follows. Did you like It Follows?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great movie.
I'm glad you liked that movie because I like that movie a heck of a lot too. That's one of my favorite horror movies of this like past 10 years or so. I'm glad you like that. That movie really did it for me. I feel like this was kind of just a bad version of It Follows. I thought the concept was really interesting, but
yeah, like how it spreads through trauma and all that stuff. And I didn't really I did, but I didn't understand how like you have to kill someone. Like the trauma demon spreads to like someone else.
Yeah, I guess someone just needs to see the murder happen or something like that. Like I don't know.
And like honestly, like as soon as I heard that, I thought it was gonna pan out like a whole different way. I thought she was gonna murder like that cop boyfriend of hers or whatever the fuck.
That's what I thought
like,
too. Yeah. That's what I thought too. I that ending I was pretty shit. The last like 30 minutes was pretty garbo.
It was all over the place. It definitely was. Like she defeats the thing and then like gets to leave, and then like turns out she didn't really get to leave. She's still in the house or whatever. And
yeah, I felt like that was like super. It was kind of lazy. I feel like they had a great concept. They had all these ideas and stuff, and they just didn't know how to end the movie. I feel like they just kind of dragged on for too much. They had that fake out ending that apparently a lot of people bought into, I guess, which I don't see how, because it was like the neatest, cleanest way to wrap it up, even though like they kind of had no rules or anything set up on how to defeat it or how to win. And she's like, "Yep, I burnt it alive. I'm okay now." Also, why did this thing look like Momo? You know what
I don't know.
It looked like a shitty version of Momo. Like, what the fuck was like? Why did it have? I like the version where it just had infinite sets of teeth. You know. That fucking monster was great. That monster design was pretty class, you know?
I don't know. I thought that was fucking gross. Like it mutating from its mother to whatever the fuck that monstrosity was.
Yeah, I mean, like I liked how it was big and scary, just long, lanky, fucking like walking around and stuff like that. Very creepy. You know when it like ripped its skin off?
Yeah, like right before it shoved itself.
Yeah,
into her mouth.
I thought that creature design was fucking awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was really cool. It, like, I don't know, I liked all, like, the blood and shit, like, leaking off the side. It looked kind of real. I don't know if that was, like, CGI or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
speaking of CGI, why did they CG the cat? I thought that was weird. Like, not a super big gripe, but I thought that was kind of weird how they, like...
What, CGI, like the dead cat?
Yeah. I don't know why it was CGI. I thought that was weird. And one of the moments, too, when I talked about, like, how they just had random moments that were just, like, there, like, not for her, but just for the audience, you know? Like, how when she had an argument with her sister, like wearing the pink sweater, and then she goes to her car and she's like sitting there crying, and then like the sister like really quickly starts walking. Walking.
Yeah, comes back up, like twists her fucking head down below just to jump scare the audience.
Yeah, and I feel like the whole point of her like walking down like to the car, like her doing it fast, you know, was supposed to everyone to be like, oh, she's gonna talk to her sister some more, when it was just like kind of to make you feel a false insecurity, you know, like, oh, she's gonna be normal, but like her, like, she's not gonna do that. Like, why not just have her pop right in front of the car, you know? Why make it look like she was coming from the house to trick us?
Well, like, yeah, I can see that too. Like whenever she's listening to like the audio thing or whatever, and like the thing pops up right next to her, like a backseat thing would have been like, I think, a lot better too. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like
there's some stuff I feel like the only reason it happened is because they were making a movie out of it, and I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to happen, you know? I mean, like, it's not that big of a gripe, but sometimes that shit just irritates me. It just makes me think, like, why wouldn't she just spawn inside of the car, you know, scare the fuck out of her that way, you know? Or something like that. I feel like there were so many opportunities that would have, like, this girl is, like, in the deepest, like, fucking, like, pit of her life, and she can't trust anything or anyone she's looking at or seeing. She can't trust herself, can't trust her own mind. And it's just like, oh, that's the jump scare, and moving on to the next day. And I'm like, it's like 15 hours later. Like, there's no way this girl would be able to fucking sleep, you know? I feel like it was just like, oh, that's the jump scare. That's the end of today's adventure. Moving on. I just feel like that's a weird thing for like the curse just to be like resting, you know? Yeah, I don't get that whole thing. It gave me a lot
maybe
of,
it's like one of those dormant things where like as it goes through, it gets
makes
more
them
powerful
weak
or some shit.
Yeah, the more you're scared, I guess. It reminded me a lot of Drag Me to Hell. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, that's also a really good movie.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it really reminded me a lot of Drag Me to Hell. That movie's really fucking good too, where a girl is just kind of slowly descending into madness and has like really no way to fucking like kind of save herself. And even the thing with like the knife where she's like, oh, I'm gonna stab that patient, kind of reminded me of how she was gonna put the button into her boyfriend's bag, you know? I kind of there are a lot of parallels with those two movies I saw. Just kind of the girl slowly descending into madness and shit. Yeah, I liked it though. The boyfriend was weird. I felt like that was lame. He didn't really. The girl, the main actress, she was really fucking good. Like, she acted her ass off in that movie. She was really good.
Yeah, she was. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if you know this, but the fiance of the girl is actually one of the main characters, or not main, but like a character in The Boys.
Yeah, I did see that. I've never seen The Boys, but I do want to watch that show.
But yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks that's the only reason he really got that role. He didn't really have that much of an outstanding role in there.
No,
it kind of sucked.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't too big fan of his part. I feel like he was very kind of 2D, and like they didn't really it wasn't a super well thought out part, and I don't think he really fit the role super well. But at least it wasn't such a major thing, you know.
Well, like one thing I don't know, kind of thought about like the second time I was watching it. It would have been interesting, like if like I don't know, the two boys or men like fought each other or something, like one of them became the demon or some shit, and she just ends up like killing one of them to traumatize the other, and like she does end up getting away, but she's just doing that to save her. And
yeah, so she like fucks over the two men possibly in her life, you know, that care about her. That'd be really fucked up. That's even worse, Kyler. You're a sick bastard. Why would you want something like that?
A better ending, what do you mean?
I don't know if that movie could have a better ending, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, overall I give it a thumbs up. Should we go down to our star rating, buddy?
Yeah.
I give this one a 7. A 7, I guess. I think that's pretty high.
I think I can match you on that. Yeah.
7.
It's definitely a 7.
Yeah, I did like the gore. The gore is pretty good too. Yeah, I'll mention that again. I wish there was a bit more of it. I wish we saw some more suicides, you know? And I wish it was just kind of like people close to her would kill herself too, just because I wanted to see more of that shit. I kind of hated how like a lot of the stuff was just in her head. I wish there was more shit. Also, we didn't mention it, but the part where she kills her mom, that's fucked up. Excuse me. That was really fucked up. I was not expecting that. How she was.
Oh yeah, wasn't she, like, overdosing or whatever.
Yeah, she's like she refused to call the cops on her fucking like mom and save her. Like that's fucked up. Like that's really bad. That she was like really actually she's like, oh, you killed your mom, you just hold this guilt, you know? So like, no, she actually killed her. Like 100%. Yeah, she like refused to call the cops. Like that's how does a 10-year-old not know how to call 911? That's bullshit, man.
Maybe it was like a Wednesday night. She had some sweet MC sessions to go do, you know.
Yeah, she's like, Mom, I have to go play Minecraft right now. Like, I'm not dealing with this. You can just
I cannot deal with this right
You can
now.
just die, and you can just die in your own vomit. I'm done with this. I'm checking.
Great.
I'm washing my hands of the situation. No, please help me. No, I'm washing my hands, Mom. Jesus. Get the fuck out of my room. Trying to play Minecraft. All right, guys. But that's gonna be our small review. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like. Drop some comments down below. Drop some support for the boys, and we'll be back with some more spooky reviews in the future. We'll see you later.